On Saturday, August 9th, an unarmed teenager named Mike Brown was shot 10 times by a police officer in Ferguson, Missouri. This is how Mike Brown's friend, Dorian Johnson, who was present, described the event.
Me and my friend, we was walking down the street, in the middle of the street, and we wasn't causing any harm to nobody. We had no weapons on us at all. We were just walking, having a conversation. No cars were blowing at us or honking at us like we was holding up traffic or anything like that. Now, a police officer squad car pulled up, and when he pulled up, these was his exact words. He said, "Get the F on the sidewalk." And we told the officer we was not but a minute away from our destination, and we would shortly be out the street. We was having a conversation, and he went about his way for about 1 or 2 seconds as we continued to walk, and then he reversed his truck, his car, and in a manner to where it almost hit us, and it blocked both lanes off the way he turned his car. So he pulled up on the side of us. He tried to thrust his door open, but we were so close to it that it ricocheted off us and it bounced back to him. And I guess that, got him a little upset. And at that time, he reached out the window. He didn't get out the car. He just reached his arm out the window and grabbed my friend around his neck and was trying to choke my friend. And he was trying to get away, and the officer then reached out and he grabbed his arm to pull him into the car. So now it's like the officer's pulling him inside the car and he's trying to pull away. And at no time the officer said that he was going to do anything until he pulled out his weapon. His weapon was drawn, and he said, "I'll shoot you," or "I'm going to shoot." And in the same moment, the first shot went off. And we looked at him. He was shot, and there was blood coming from him. And we took off running. And as we took off running, I ducked and hid for my life because I was feared for my life. And I hid by the first car that I saw. My friend, he kept running. And he told me to keep running because he feared for me too. So as he was running, the officer was trying to get out of the car. And once he got out the car, he pursued my friend, but his weapon was drawn. Now, he didn't see any weapon drawn at him or anything like that, us going for no weapon. His weapon was already drawn when he got out the car. He shot again, and once my friend felt that shot, he turned around and he put his hands in the earth, and he started to get down, but the officer still approached with his weapon drawn, and he fired several more shots, and my friend died.
Not surprisingly, the police have a different story. They claim that there was a struggle over a weapon. However, there is reason to believe that they fabricated that story after the fact. Specifically, hackers have released 2 hours of dispatch audio from a St. Louis area police force, and that audio indicates that the officer didn't call the shooting in. And in fact, dispatch learned of the event from the news. This dispatcher had contacted Ferguson, and Ferguson claimed to know nothing about what was going on.
2190. And we just got another call stating that as the officer involved shooting at Canfield and Capper Creek. I don't know who called it in. It was called into my desk. Okay, 2190. Be advised, this information came from the news, so don't know any further. Absolutely. Can I have another car go to Canfield and Capper Creek? 21. 21 clear. 1102. Just start these. We're just getting the information from the news, and we just called Ferguson back again, and they don't know anything about it, so.
Of course, we've seen this kind of thing before, haven't we? The case is still unfolding. But if the police are lying, and it turns out that this was a case of cold-blooded murder, it is highly unlikely that justice will be served, even if there is a proper investigation, which is also unlikely. Law enforcement in the US has gradually been granted de facto legal immunity over the years. Exceptions are only made for public relations purposes, and even this rarely goes beyond a slap on the wrist. Anyone who has paid attention to the legal outcomes of police brutality cases over the past decade understands this. Anyone who has lived any significant amount of time in an American ghetto understands this. And the people of Ferguson, Missouri definitely understand this. They made that clear following the shooting. It began with peaceful protests, and then unfortunately riots and looting broke out. Many have focused on the deep and volatile racial tensions that this event revealed. It illustrated just how unstable the social fabric of America really is under the surface, and just how little it takes for appearances to get turned upside down. There's one aspect of this event which is not polarizing. In fact, it should come as a unifying wake-up call, a common ground. And that's the militarized police crackdown that followed and continued even after the rioting had ended. You see, the core protesters in Ferguson found a non-violent strategy to resist. They put their hands in the air, they face the police, and they shout in unison, "Hands up, don't shoot." Some accentuate this by even dropping to their knees while shouting. And this is how the police have been responding, like soldiers in a war zone. This is a town of 21,000, and we're seeing local police decked out in full battle gear, pointing multiple automatic weapons at unarmed protesters who already have their hands up. And they're riding in with MRAPs. These are fully armored, mine-resistant vehicles with gunner hatches and glass capable of withstanding .50 caliber ammunition. If you're okay with this, if this seems proportionate or normal to you, then we can assume that you're comfortable living under a police state. In which case, you're welcome to click away to some mind-numbing video about Minecraft or celebrity gossip. It's okay, go on. For the rest of you, those who find these images sobering, this problem goes way beyond Ferguson, Missouri. The militarization of the police that we see here is part of a pattern that's been developing for several years now in the United States. We saw this during the manhunt in the Boston bombing case, and there have been countless examples that never made national headlines. This didn't happen on accident. The militarization of the police has been orchestrated nationwide across countless jurisdictions, because those who control the US government want this. It's institutionalized at this point, and it's only going to get worse unless you, the American people, find a way to pull yourselves together and unify against this steadily advancing police state. This is just reality. You can either allow that reality to paralyze you, you can put your head in the sand, or you can convert that discomfort into a driving force. Your choice. And to you, the police, if that word still applies, look at yourself. Look what you've become. You still convince yourself that you represent the values of freedom and justice that your forefathers died for? Make no mistake, history will remember how you conducted yourselves in the twilight of this nation. And I can assure you that unless you radically change course, your descendants will be ashamed of that memory. If this message resonates with you, then spread it.